Go to a class and you are sitting there like, I already know all this.
Yeah.
I know it all. I'm like, you didn't waste your time. You validated your time.
Absolutely.
You validated the sense that like you are on the right path.
So how do you kind of continue, I guess, down that path? You know, like when people are kind of looking, do you look to other people in the industry for inspiration? Do you look to, I know some people that I talk to, they look to, you know, architecture, they look to cultural things to kind of keep them going. What are some things that kind of keep you, like, keep that fire burning, you know, kind of always keep you, I guess, moving forward?
Education.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, I'm like, listen, if I'm not teaching, I'm in a room being taught.
Totally.
Like, I love the fact that I have somehow been able, after so many years without education, I have now consumed my entire life with it. And it is like, I love how Sam Villa says, I don't want to light a fire under your ass, I want to light a fire within you.
Totally.
And that's what education does. It,
Yeah,
like,
he's great.
It inspires you to like push past your limits and, you know, connect to people in a different way. And so I love that my entire life is consumed with educating and being around other educators. Like, you know, we have artists like Roy J. White, who every time I see him, I'm like, I don't even know what my life is. Like, I am obsessed with him.
Absolutely. Like, I know. He's so great.
Like, I'm just like, you just did what?
I know, he's such a machine. Every time I see him, and I talk fast, and I have like a high motor, and that guy is just doing circles around me, and I'm like all in slow-mo. I'm in the Matrix around that guy, because he's
like his
light years ahead of me.
whole everything is an oxymoron, but it works so well.
I mean,
like,
there's a lot of awesomeness in that little bob, for sure.
I love him so much. But yeah, just other educators, and there's just so many people like via social media that I look to for inspiration.
Totally.
To be advanced is to use the tools that everyone has been given in a different way. So there are artists out there who like, you just see them and they go, boom. And I'm like, but instead of feeling down on yourself, just be like reaching out and being like, dude,
yeah,
how do you do what you do? Can I put like a little fleck of color in there so I could say I did it with you? Like, can I just work with you just a little? Like, can I touch the hem of your collar? Like, please. I fangirl people so hard. So
I think that's great. And I think like, Hattori Hanzo has really built a culture like that too, that like everybody has this path, has a passion, you know, and we've kind of, you know, you look at when we do like our summits with all of our educators, it's like this just amazing group of people though, you know what I mean? Like, and everybody has a lot of freedoms to kind of teach their message and like kind of continue to grow that message. And I think there's a lot of support for people that aren't even in our network, you know, like when you're mentioning, you know, some of the people that you see, which is, I think, you know, important for people to always realize is like there's always something to gain out of education, no matter, you know, kind of who it is or where it is.
Yeah, I'm like, here's the deal. If you go to a class, and this is like the most important thing I can tell someone in a class, if not the education they've been given. I'm like, if you go to a class and you are sitting there like, I already know all this.
Yeah.
I know it all. I'm like, you didn't waste your time. You validated your time.
Absolutely.
You validated the sense that like you are on the right path. Like, I took Dennis Joseph's class on hair tattoos, and I was like, I'm gonna like get in there, and I'm like, I know that I'm gonna do everything wrong, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in front of my idol and be like, okay, what am I doing? I was prepared, you know, I was like stressing out, and so we're sitting there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I do that. Oh, I do that too. And then I do it like that, and then I do it in that order. I'm like, I'm doing it right, you know? And it was just so cool to be like, I felt validated in that moment of like, okay, like,
totally,
I'm okay.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think that's kind of, you know, like a lot of the stuff that I do with our educators is, I don't think there's ever the right or wrong. I think it's, you know, like it's,
if it works, it's right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, if your clients, if that's what they want to see and you're doing it the right way and like, you know, technically everything is good, like that's what makes it right. I think that's what's so great about this industry is there's not necessarily always that super defined line that, you know, it's not a math problem. You know,
but so many people get there though, and they're like, this is the right way. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, that's how you got there.
When it comes to chemistry, always follow the manufacturer's instructions. When it comes to a tool that you're using, follow the manufacturer's instructions because some of the work has been done for you.
Sure.
Those are not rules. Those are fundamentals that have been put there as an implement, a tool for you to run circles around a box, right? So understanding those foundations, those fundamentals, and then do whatever you want, you know?
Sure.
So the thing is, I'm like, my thing with that is if it works, it's not wrong. But to have consistency in that is to know when to do it.
Absolutely.
And to know why you're doing it. Then you can utilize that anywhere you want. And if it's consistent, then it's absolutely not wrong across the board.
Totally, you got to know the rules before you break them, right?
See, and that's the thing that I'm like, everyone says that, and it like pisses me off because I'm just like, don't break the rules, use the rules, because the rules are actually fundamentals.
Sure.
The fundamentals of the ground of like, there's only so many of like, okay, if I do this, it will work. So if I do that over there, you're not breaking the rule, you're utilizing the rule.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of
people to understand
confusion. Yeah, when they think they're breaking a rule, maybe some people just want to be rule breakers. Maybe that's
fine,
their fire. I don't know, but
I guess the
some
only
of those
problem with
rules
it is
can't
consistency.
really be broken, right? You can't really break a rule.
I just think we need to stop saying rules.
We're gonna take that out.
We're just gonna take it out.
Yep.
We're gonna put in fundamentals because you can't really screw those up.
So from now on, every time I see you, no more R words. We're gonna use F words only. Like we're doing it.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm on it.
F
I love
words
it.
only.
So what? I guess as if we don't say enough of those.
Of course.